This is a real quick video just to talk about something called scope. So I'm going to put that word right here, scope. All right, and basically what scope is talking about is a really important feature inside of Java because it controls where a variable can be used. So if you notice this constant right here, pi, notice how it's declared at the top uppermost level. That means that its scope is the entire class. Then notice down here that I have a variable called increase a number. So it is declared inside the main method. So that means that that variable its scope is anywhere in the main method. Its scope is the main method. So that means that this variable can be used anywhere inside the main method. Now, if you made a static method, your own static method that was separate from the main method, you would not be able to use the variable increase in number because its scope would be excluded from that static method. Okay, we'll talk about how to pass values back and forth between methods, but right now we're just talking about scope. Here's another variable that's being declared right here, and it is inside the main method, so its scope is the main method as well. Let's get down to a couple of these examples here. Notice this variable right here, I, is being declared in the for loop. So because it's being declared in the for loop, that means that its scope is only the for loop. You cannot use that variable outside of the for loop. And notice here we have our nested for loop, and so the variable I can only be, or I should say its scope is only the for loop that I've highlighted here. But this variable here is on the inner for loop, so it can only be used on the inner for loop. And that's how it works, right? It's how restricted scope there. You cannot declare two variables with the same name. For instance, if I tried to do that here, if I try to do that there, and then if I press compile, notice I get an error, right? It says, hey, that's already defined. But I can declare I here, even though I is used inside the for loop, I can declare I because its scope would be, oh, I'm messing it up inside the for loop now. Yeah, so you can't do that. All right. So that was a quick introduction to scope, and it's an important topic to keep in mind, especially when you're thinking about declaring a variable and where is the appropriate place to declare that variable.